Hi everyone, Patty here again. So today I'm doing something different on my bicycle. I'm going to replace these two tires and the two inner tubes. Now for the first time ever the other day, I changed the tube of my tire. A little backstory, my husband and I were riding. He was way ahead of me. I blew a tire. We were going down a hill, very loud, he heard it. By the time he heard and he came back up, I'd already taken the tire off, and just by instinct and with some help from my husband, nope, use a tool this way, do this, do that, change a tube, and I was good to go. So every bike rider should know how to do this. And the first time I ever did it, otherwise it was just dumb luck that he was always there and just did it, or found it flat in the garage and changed it. So we're gonna do this together. And the same bike that I replaced the tube in, the tire was very old. I rode for another 15 miles after I changed the tube. Next time I went to ride it, my brother noticed that I had a bulge in the tire. I'll show it to you. This is my bicycle. It's a Trek. I know its birth year was 1993. That's about all I can tell you, except that it does not have a kickstand. So it's a leaner. My husband has a couple racing bikes, well, quite a few, and they don't have kickstands either. So maybe I'm in an elite class, I don't know. But I have my big girl seat. I need to have padding. So anyhow, here's the tire. It was the rear tire. I'll show you that bulge right there. See that? Tire kind of ripped and it's bulging. Where'd I go? There it is. You can see the inner tube. You can see the inner tube right there, right? So that means it's time to change this tire. And take a look at it. And since I'm going to change one tire, I'm going to go ahead and change both. The tires were $20 each, and I'll keep that inner tube, which is like maybe 15 miles old, as a potential spare. I don't know. I'll verify that with my husband. But I bought two more tubes. These happen to be the pressed-on type, and that, see that? Presta type. I said pressed on. Presta type, which is the type of valve, which is this valve. We'll get into that more. Okay, let's get started. What I'm going to do is flip the bike over. Since I have a nice big seat, I'll just flip it over onto the ground here and then work on it. Here's my bike on the floor, sitting on its seat and its handlebars, ready to work on. So I'm going to do the back tire first, only because it's a little bit more effort to take the tire off than the front. So what you do over here is, see this handle right here? You got to pop that out. Do you see this handle right here? I got to pop it up. Now, oh, I got it up. Okay. When I took it off the other day, I used this under it. I'll put it part way. Under it to help pry it, like for leverage, and pull it up. So that's why I like this kind that had this for some leverage. Okay, I'm gonna take the tire off. So this loosens it. As you can see, the tire's gonna come out. But let's go back over to this side. You have the chain on this side and the derailleur, okay? So I have to loosen this so that it will let my tire come out. You gotta fuss with it. That should come out. Okay, it's released out. What's holding it? Let's think about that. What's holding it back? There we go. Give it a little wiggle out. I take this chain off like that. And I got the tire out. Now, we're gonna work on the tire itself. Now that I have it out, I'm gonna take this off, take the tubing out, put new tubing in, put this on. First things first, go to the valve, take the cap off. I'll put it in my pocket. There's a screw down, oh, right here for the press down valve, you unscrew this, and that lets the air out. After you unscrew it, let it deflate. Okay, squishy, squishy, it's deflated. Then, I'm gonna take, right here where my pinky is, there's a nut right there. Hold it against the rim. I'm gonna take that off. And all this is part of the inner tube. I'm just gonna save that there. Now I get to take the tire off. I gotta remember how to do this. How did he show me? Go like that. Do you go like this side first? Don't really remember. Like this side? No, that's to put it in and you go around. Oh, okay, I'll figure it out. All right, when you get under that lip of the tire, you go all the way around and it takes it out from being tucked in. See that? I'm using this edge right now. You use it to put it in and you go around this way. But I'm gonna, now normally when you're changing a tire, I guess you know, here's the tube. You'd put your tube in the whole way, right? And then put this side back in, tucked back in. But I'm gonna take this whole tire off because that tire's broken, remember? So first, I think I'm gonna use this tube as a spare. So I'll go ahead and take this tube out and put it aside. And see where I took that nut off on the valve? Out it comes. See the valve's attached to the tube. Okay, so I'll keep this as a spare. And now, I can just pop the rest of that old tire off into the garbage. Here's my new tire. Garbage. Okay, let's see. A little bit of string there. Oh, I'm gonna get that tire on first, on that one side. I laid the tire down and by hand with my thumbs got one side of the tire all inside the rim. Okay, this side is not inside the rim. See that? It's hollow, my finger goes in. But this side on the opposite side is in, this side isn't. Now I'm gonna put my tube in, and then we're gonna tuck that side of the tire in. Okay. Second time I've done this, guys, so bear with me. All right, where's the hole for my valve? It's somewhere. Here it is. It's on this side. I don't want that tire to pop out. Okay, so I found the hole inside the rim. See right there? Can you see it right there? That's where I'm gonna put this stem through. Get it all the way in. Not in all the way. There we go. All right, so it's pretty much in. And see the flatness of this tube right now, going flat this way, flat this way. You want this flat to continue through the whole circumference of this tire. So as you are tucking it under, I'm feeling the underneath side of this and purposely making it stay in a flat position around the whole circumference and checking myself as I go along. Sometimes it comes out, and if you put it back, don't twist it, because you can't have a twisted tube. That's the point of this. And keeping a grip on stuff and all that, it gets tricky, but you feel it out and you just keep going. Okay, that's inside. I'm trying to lay it inside the track of this metal rim, if you will. All right, another way I'm gonna do this is start putting the tire in. I can see that I have the correct flatness going around of that tube. It's not all the way in. So what I'm gonna do is start making it stay flat where I put it by putting the tire in. For right now, I can use my fingers to pop this tire into place while I'm also placing the tube in there. See how I'm getting towards the end here? Just this little slope of inner tube left. I want to make sure that's flat. Yep, I can feel it. It's flat up against. Okay. Now, let me confirm that tube is flat and not pinching. Open up a little more again. What's this? Oh, that's the valve. Valve is flat, and that goes flat. Okay, flat to flat. That's what I'm looking for. So, continue putting this in by hand because I can. And now it's gonna get tight. So now I'm gonna use this tool. And it's on. Now that's why this design has it where you can use it and you can pull. So, I was wrong. Originally I was right. I used this to take it off. This side, right here, see that little space? I use that to put it on. So, you hook it in the rim of the tire. Pretend I hooked it in the metal rim of the tire. It forces the tube to go inside. And then I grabbed it, and as I kept pulling around, it kept forcing that tube to go inside. That's that last home stretch where it's really difficult. So now, I am good to go, except I'm going to go to the valve before I forget. Put the nut on, the stem again, down at the base. And I'm not going to super tighten anything because it's going to expand a bit anyway when you put air in it. So I'll give it some slack. Then when the air is good, I'll do that. So how much air you say? 116 PSI. Why do you know that, Patty? Because it's on the tire. Just like your car tire, it'll tell you the PSI of your tires. Can you see that right where my thumb is? Hopefully you can. But it says 116 PSI. I love this compressor. It's battery operated. And just so happens we have a whole bunch of DeWalt tools. So we have a whole bunch of batteries. 117, 110. I'm going to do like 113. I don't know why. You know what? Let me just do 110 or 111. Just keep it soft. A little softer for right now. I don't know why. Logic is just kind of saying, just do it, Patty. Don't know if there's a good reason why or not, but I'm going to go with it. I just don't want to be like over pressured. Is this the right one? Oh, this is loose. So, take my valve. I tighten this onto my valve. You want to be in line with your valve, or it may not go on right. Make sure it's nice and tight, finger tight. And yeah, we're good to go. And all I do, I set it at 111, hit my on button. All right, I apparently am not on tight enough. Something's up. Oh, I know what it is. I'm gonna loosen this. See right where my finger is? This is a Preston valve. I'll show you real quick. My pinky is the Preston valve. There's a little nut on the end of that. I gotta loosen up. Otherwise, it's gonna stay there and not let air out. Now I loosened it. My pinky is. And look. It will open up for me now and let the air in. All right, my tire's now full of air. So I'm gonna take the fitting off. There we go. Do it quickly so you don't lose a lot of air. Take this off. Preston fitting, I'm gonna take that bottom nut again, screw it up tight. Now that's closed up. Then I'm gonna take this nut, and since I have air in the tire, I know exactly how far I have to go before I finger tighten it. Then I'm gonna put the cap back on. And that tire's done. Now let's get it mounted on the bike. Okay, now I'm gonna put the tire back, the back tire back in. So first off, I'm gonna pull the derailleur out of the way. I'm going to set my bike down like this, the tire, over the slots where they're supposed to go in. I'm gonna pop it in through the brakes. Whoops, get myself a little stuck here, hold on. A lot of trial and error here. All right, let's see. There. Looks like it's in the brakes. Okay. Whoops, I gotta take it back out. I'm taking it back out because I didn't get the chain around the gears. See this chain around the gears, not under them. I'm gonna move this chain to that end. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, line it up, get it in the brakes. Pull the derailleur up, give it slack to go into the slots. And now you see that my chain is around the wheel. Okay, gotta make sure your chain is around the wheel. So it's like put that hub of the wheel through that opening of your chain first, then play with getting it into the slots and in the brakes and playing with lifting and closing the derailleur. Okay, now it is in, sturdy, it's in, chains around it, we'll worry about the chain later. On this side, down here, you'll see there's a lever for the brakes that I had opened up. See where my pointer finger is? Right here. I'm gonna close that now because these brakes are around the tire. So I'm gonna lock that up, close it up. I'm going to lock this, close that up, nice and tight. And the bike is put back together. Now I'm gonna spin the pedal. It's hard to do with one hand, and I'm stepping on my bike seat to do it. Okay, see? Spinning the pedal, chain's doing its thing, tire's doing its thing. For the front tire, you open this up, take it out, much easier, because all you do is a slot there and a slot there. Put your new tire on, put it back in, close it up. Hey, something else I'd like to mention, subscribe and like. I got a lot more stuff like this. I'm always doing something every day. And something very important I want to mention, I have up here, I'll have like my phone in this little bag, my stuff like that. I have a bag back here that has inner tubes, the tools and all that stuff. So my point is, if you're gonna ride, go ahead and figure out how to do this stuff, because it happened to me. It just so happened that my husband was way far ahead and I started. I knew enough from watching him to get going on it. But how many times have I ridden alone 20-mile clips? I don't even know how to change a tire. Well, now I do. Okay, it's all done. Both tires are mounted. So go up and down the street a little, take it for a test run, see how it is. Okay, it's good. I'm glad. Now I can get going on this beautiful day and go bike riding. You should learn how to do your tires too. It's really not that hard. It's only the second time I've done it. See you next time.